Today on Rappler, Corona lawyers say they will block any evidence from the Ombudsman's investigation into alleged $10 million bank accounts of the Chief Justice. Today on Rappler, Corona lawyers say... Video of celebrity couples Raymart Santiago and Claudine Barreto in a fight with columnist Ramon Tulfo spread like wildfire on the internet. And despite adversity, Palaro athletes reach for victory. Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. We promise uncompromised journalism that hopefully inspires smart conversations and ignites a thirst for change. Senator judges set a May 31 target to finish the impeachment trial. Presiding Officer Juan Ponce Enrile cut short the testimonies of 5 defense witnesses. Enrile also gets impatient with witnesses he says had no relevance to the case.
The property was transferred or not. There was a transaction, whether that is void, immaterial, there is a transaction, money passed from the city of Manila to Mrs. Cristina Corona. What I'm trying to avoid is we're cluttering this proceeding with so many collateral, irrelevant, immaterial issues. We're wasting time.
Senator Jinggoy Estrada echoes Enrile, saying the senators want to hear from Chief Justice Renato Corona. Defense counsel Serafin Cuevas objects, and his words anger Enrile.
Instead of cluttering this court with witnesses who are impertinent, immaterial, or irrelevant to these proceedings, I suggest that you bring the respondent himself to answer all the allegations leveled against him.
We cannot be bulldozed into presenting this witness because you like him to testify. That is not the order of trial. That is not the demand of justice, Your Honor. We had been a practitioner, we had been a member of the bench, we have been a member of the Supreme Court. There is no authority nor any jurisprudence that give the reason for compelling a party accused for appearing in court if he does not appear to be in a position to do so, Your Honor.
Don't tell us and lecture to us about due process. We're equally aware of our obligation to extend due process to anybody coming before this court. Is it your position that there is no prima facie case presented before this court?
In our evaluation, yes.
No, I'm asking you a question.
Yes, Your Honor.
If that's your position,
in our evaluation,
then that's your problem, if that's your position.
The defense team of Chief Justice Renato Corona says it would block any evidence from an ombudsman investigation in the impeachment court. Defense counsel Judd Roy III said in an interview hours before the resumption of the Corona trial, quote, "Of course we're going to stop it. Why should we allow it to come in?" He adds, "Remember, there is a TRO on all kinds of dollar accounts and information regarding foreign currency deposits." He adds, "We want to put the office of the Ombudsman in its proper place. Why should we allow the Chief Justice to submit to the Ombudsman? There's no jurisdiction there." In an April 2012 letter, Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales ordered Corona to explain assets that are, quote, "grossly disproportionate to his salary," referring to the alleged dollar accounts that total at least $10 million US. Carpio Morales, a former Supreme Court Associate Justice, maintained she has jurisdiction, saying her office can pursue an investigation for the purposes of an impeachment complaint. The Chief Justice denies he has $10 million US. After the Mayweather-Cotto fight Sunday, a scuffle broke out between celebrity couple Raymart Santiago and Claudine Barreto and columnist Ramon Tulfo. According to reports, Barreto was scolding a Cebu Pacific ground stewardess for their lost luggage when Tulfo started recording the heated conversation with his cell phone. Santiago challenged Tulfo and things turned ugly. The celebrities claimed Tulfo landed the first punch. Tulfo said he was just defending himself from the couple and their entourage. Photos of Tulfo and Barreto showing their injuries are spreading on social networking sites. Both camps threaten to file legal charges. Well, kidnappers sent new video of Australian Warren Rodwell, who was abducted by suspected members of Muslim extremist groups in the southern Philippines. He was taken from his home in Ipil Town, Zamboanga del Sur on December 5. In January, a video sent by his kidnappers here show him pleading with authorities to do all they can for his freedom. Australia's Department of Foreign Affairs said Philippine authorities received a second recording of the former soldier, providing proof of life on March 26. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation says the new video showed him holding up a newspaper dated March 26 while pleading for ransom to save his life. His captors are reportedly demanding $2 million. After elections in France and Greece, the euro nosedived to a 3-month low against the dollar, setting off a slump in Asian currencies. French and Greek voters said no to belt-tightening efforts, electing leaders who are against austerity measures considered vital for fixing the European debt crisis. Nicolas Sarkozy became the first president in more than 30 years to lose re-election. His defeat brings uncertainty for the Eurozone, which was long led by Sarkozy and German Chancellor Angela Merkel. The anxiety over the euro triggered a sell-off in Asian currencies, with South Korea's won dropping to its lowest level in a month and Malaysia's ringgit following close behind, dropping 0.4%. The Philippine peso remains resilient, shedding only 0.17% to close at 42 pesos and 35 centavos to the dollar. Well, the Aquino government pulled out all the stops to spotlight the Philippines as an investment and tourist destination when Manila played host last week to the ADB's annual governors meeting. Taking advantage of having 4,000 high-level finance officials and investment bankers in one event, officials pitched trade, tourism, and transportation plans to a captive audience. As part of the concerted strategy, the country spent 63 million pesos, or about $1.5 million for its tourism campaign, It's More Fun in the Philippines, on CNN. Its Eye on the Philippines interviewed President Benigno Aquino III, who talked about the economic gains of his almost 2-year-old government. CNN also interviewed the owners of conglomerate Ayala Corporation. Jaime Zobel de Ayala and his brother Fernando were bullish about the country's future. Finance Secretary Cesar Purisima candidly pitched to credit rating agencies for a much-coveted upgrade. Well, let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. For number 6, it's Valérie Trevallier's turn as First Lady of France following the defeat of Nicolas Sarkozy in the elections. Socialist François Hollande takes the reins of a country trying to recover from the European economic slump. Trevalier, a 47-year-old journalist who tweets, is a twice-divorced mother of 3 teenagers. Unlike Bruni, who is a millionaire heiress and former supermodel turned folk singer, Trevalier comes from a modest family in eastern France and says she wants to keep on working because she doesn't want to be supported by the state. Trevalier, like Hollande, styles herself as the antithesis of bling. For number 8, the Marvel film featuring superheroes Captain America, the Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, and Hawkeye earned a whopping $200.3 million in its opening weekend, setting a new record high. Avengers overtook previous record holder Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. And for number 9, the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation is asking executives at Facebook, Gmail, and Skype to give the agency easier backdoor access to spy on suspected criminals. That becomes more important for spy agencies as communication shifts online. American boxer Floyd Mayweather remains undefeated after taking the World Boxing Association super welterweight title from Puerto Rican Miguel Cotto in a unanimous 12-round decision. Cotto clearly won the middle rounds, but Mayweather used his superior hand speed and solid defense to ultimately win the fight. Mayweather says he has not given up on the possibility of meeting Manny Pacquiao in the ring, but the undefeated boxer has to face jail time first for violence and harassment. Philippine President Benigno Aquino III opens this year's Palarong Pambansa. Natasha Gutierrez is spearheading Rappler's coverage and joins us live from Pangasinan. Natasha, what was it like today?
Day 2 just ended here in Palarong Pambansa here in Pangasinan, Maria. It was very festive, competitive, and spirited. Actually, there were only about 5 out of 17 sports today that had any events at all because of the switch in schedule since yesterday, traditionally, the opening ceremonies are held on the first day, except this year, President Benigno Aquino could not actually come yesterday and he could only come today, hence the switch in schedule.
It's a celebration of youth, excellence, and community. This is Palarong Pambansa, the Philippines' largest sporting competition. The cheers are loudest for Region 10, which includes cities hardest hit by Tropical Storm Sandong. It took effort to get here today, and the athletes thank those who helped them make it. President Benigno Aquino opens the games trying the local dialect. He struggles, coughs, and cracks a joke. He salutes the young athletes and promises a better future for the games. At least 200 million pesos set aside for a focused sports policy.
So nakalatag na rin po ang 2011 to 2016 Philippine Sports Roadmap ng Philippine Sports Commission. Kabilang dito ang tinatawag natin Focus Sports Policy, kung saan tututukan ang pagpapaunlad sa ilang napipiling larangan, kabilang ng boxing, taekwondo, athletics, swimming, wushu, archery, wrestling, bowling, weightlifting, at billiards.
The Department of Education's games has tried to build the Filipino spirit in competition for nearly 60 years. It's a breeding ground for champions, which includes homegrown Danny Ildefonso, two-time PBA MVP.
And good luck at galingan nyo para matupad yung mga pangarap nyo.
The games will run until Saturday, May 12, pushing young athletes, some without the basics like this barefoot runner, to reach for victory.
Well, Natasha,
It's a celebration
you've been there
of youth,
for a few days now. What do you make of President Aquino's promise to focus on sports and the 200 million pesos that should go to Palaro?
Actually, Maria, it seems that the president's promise, if you actually recall, it seems to run in the family. President Cory Aquino in 1990 actually signed an agreement or actually put into law the Philippine Sports Commission, and that's how it actually started. And the Philippine Sports Commission is responsible for all amateur sports here in the Philippines. And so we're hoping that it will be as successful, this program that he is doing, this focused sports policy. The focus of the sports of this program are actually those sports that seem to have shown potential, or the Filipino athletes have seem to show potential in, such as boxing, taekwondo, wushu. That's why the investment is in those sports. Now, in the past, other presidents have also allotted a specific amount of money for other sports, except the main problem has been the direction or the management of these funds. So hopefully this time around, the government will find a way to be able to give it to PSC and for the organization to be able to find a way to direct them properly.
What's it look like now there after the first 2 days? What are the next days looking and feeling like?
We've had some pretty dominant regions. NCR, for instance, has dominated gymnastics. We have Western Visayas dominating athletics. So, you have some regions that are going ahead, but both days have been very spirited, very good, especially today. All the regions were out there in their bright, colorful uniforms, and everyone was just excited. It's a very great atmosphere here. You can feel the energy.
Okay. Natasha Gutierrez, thank you very much, and we'll look forward to hearing more from you in the coming days. Well, Natasha mentioned the medal standings. Western Visayas on the first day took an early lead, winning 5 of the possible 11 gold medals awarded on day 1 of Palarong Pambansa 2012, with a near sweep of the athletics events. The National Capital Region, meanwhile, dominated in men's gymnastics, taking 4 golds with a sweep of the boys' individual all-around and team titles for both elementary and secondary boys. The point system that Palarong Pambansa uses awards more points for team events. NCR is ahead in the leaderboard with 66 points. Western Visayas follows with 49 points. Southern Tagalog is a close third with 41 points. Central Luzon is fourth with 24, and Cagayan Valley fifth at 20. About 5 months ago, most of the members of the Northern Mindanao volleyball team were fighting for their lives in the middle of Tropical Storm Sendong. Some lost family members to the floods. Despite that, they are out in force at Palarong Pambansa. David Santos reports.
The Northern Mindanao volleyball team almost didn't make it to the Palarong Pambansa this year. More than half of the 12-member team were victims of Tropical Storm Sendong, which struck Cagayan de Oro and Iligan in December 2011. At least 800 people died from Sendong. Thousands of families were displaced. 16-year-old spiker Renz Enerio watches on the sidelines as his team battles it out against Caraga region, their first game. Enerio lost his mom, Emelita, to Sendong. A former team member and Palaro veteran, Lloyd Damalan, is one of 400 who remain missing. The team's coach is himself a Sendong survivor. Unlike Enerio, Alex Adeva is grateful he only lost things he owned to the flood. But Alex was not sure he could gather his players together for training. After the flood, Enorio was not even sure he could join Palaro.
Kaya patuloy ako naglaro kasi sabi nung ate ko, huwag na lang ako maglaro dito kasi ako. Para rin yun sa kinabukasan ko kasi may scholarship akong makukuha pag sumama ako dito sa Palarong Pambansa. Kaya sumama ako. Kaya
inisa-isa ko sila, lalo na yung si Renz kasi nawala yung mama niya. Sabi na, sir, kung biktima kami, then mawala pa kami, love din namin ang volleyball eh. So, kung hindi mo kami palaruin, so parang mas lalong biktima kami.
Taking off from the determination of the players, the team trained hard for more than a month.
Pag wala sigurong sports, hindi namin alam kung saan kami mapunta kasi nakita mo yung ibang biktima, wala talaga. Doon kung makapunta ka sa Cagayan de Oro, parang walang-wala na sila, parang end of the world sa kanila eh.
Enerio says he has recovered from the tragedy largely due to his non-stop training for the Palaro.
hindi ko na iniisip yung trahedya kasi tapos na yun eh. Wala na eh. Kaya wala na tayong magagawa, hindi na natin may babalik. Kaya yun lang, patuloy ang recovery. Tsaka, hindi ko na yun iniinda yung sakit. Na pag naglalaro na, o before maglaro, parang sinasabi ko nga, para sa ito,
Region 10 will face tough opponents Central Visayas and Calabarzon for the eliminations. But against all the odds, they are keeping their eye on the goal to land in the top 3. For now, they conquer Caraga, winning them over in 2 sets. Not bad for a team still in mourning.
We are Sendong victims pero ipakita namin sa buong mundo na bumangon kami. Kaya namin to.
But more than competing and rising above adversity, Region 10 wants to say thank you to the world for helping them through the tragedy.
Thank you.
David Santos, Rappler, Pangasinan.
Another confrontation in Manila's entertainment world. Up-and-coming teen actress Andy Eigenman had a run-in this weekend with her former boyfriend. Eigenman says, quote, the past came rushing back after she saw the alleged father of her daughter. Rappler's Patricia Evangelista interviewed Eigenman 9 months ago in this portrait of a teenage mother.
Did you ever consider an abortion? Honestly, yeah. Because I was alone. Because I was afraid. Because I didn't know if maybe my entire future will turn out to just be a wreck. At that time, I was still in love. I still believed myself to be in love, and I thought that it would be so wrong if I continue this without him. You know, I don't want to do this alone because I don't want to lose him. But the main thing is always to just do the right thing. The other one already didn't. He already turned his back on it. The first thing that people would say about my situation right now that I've heard is that I'm a whore. Just because you're not pregnant doesn't mean you didn't have sex, diba? That doesn't say anything. That doesn't say that if you don't get pregnant, then you're a virgin and you don't sleep around. If that's their initial reaction or judgment, then fine. But in truth, I've only had one boyfriend. Of course I got heartbroken. Of course I felt so bad. Of course I thought I wanted to die. But then, that was because I was in love and it didn't work out. But now, I've learned to stand up from it because I realized that if he's not here right now, then obviously he's not worth it.
Well, that's Rappler's Newscast for today, Monday, May 7, 2012. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.